It's the March 2024 show. I don't know where I'm going this morning, Craig, with Craig from Cousins. Um, Quick question: the heat pump program. I'm hearing rumors that it might be done. Is it? I thought it was going till the end of March. What can you tell me about this?
It's done, Dave. So first and foremost, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here. I always look forward to doing this. And secondly, yes, it's done. There was 2 years left. Very long story short, in a matter of 2 months, it went from 2 years to effective immediately done. So if there's anybody out there that was thinking about it or possibly having it, there's some very, very slim rules to get a couple last people in. But other than that, it's done. Now, when you look up any information online, you're still going to see government programs because there is programs, but the programs are more like interest-free loans for anything you're doing, not rebates back. So
Ah,
that's where, yeah, it was a huge change. Now they are talking potential new programs in the budget, but at this point in time, the information that they've shared is something energy conscious. We don't know. Is it going to be residential, commercial? Is it going to be heat pumps or is it going to be new roof? We don't know. So there is the potential of something else coming, but it's not necessarily HVAC related.
is and now it was scheduled to the end of March, though, was it not? I thought
It
that's the
was,
date you
yeah,
gave
it
me.
was. Well, actually, it was scheduled before, just as a beginning of December. It was scheduled for almost another 2 years, and then it got changed. That it ended. We found
Okay.
out right before the Christmas break. It ended March 31st. First week of January back, we found out it ended February 29th. Then, through some shortcomings and some decision making, for whatever reason, the people in power said it's over.
It was a successful program, was it not?
Uh, in some regard, yes. The unfortunate part was the first 2 years of the program were during the end of the COVID era, so there wasn't a lot of marketing or media about it. So, unfortunately, a lot of people didn't even know that it was going on other than word of mouth through contractors. There wasn't a lot of publicity. It wasn't until after that it became more publicized. So, I do have some customers that have said, I can't believe the program was so short. Actually, it was on for the better part of 3 years. It just wasn't widely known because there wasn't a lot of media about it.
And that we're
But
talking about, yeah, we're talking about the heat pump program as well, just so folks know. We didn't really mention that, but
yes, sir.
and I think that was, you and I had really talked it up. I'm sorry to hear that it's ended a little bit sooner than it should have, and I hope that folks that maybe were interested are still going down that because it seems like just such an excellent idea, such a viable entity
It's an
for home
extremely
heating.
Yeah, it's an extremely viable idea. And as I've said before, they've come such a long way with this equipment. It's not new equipment. We're not buying the first generation. This is stuff that's been around, before I've been born as far as the technology and tried and tested and true. So it is becoming much more of a viable way. The other thing that for customers when it comes time when you're looking into a potential heat pump or air conditioner, um, and this is just from talking from some of my resources in the industry, I think you might see some customers that even did get the heat pumps that might be a little frustrated by pricing in the market. What I mean by that is I've talked to some of my wholesalers, and based on the plan continuing for well over another year, they've stocked up heavily with these heat pumps that now they're not going to be selling nearly as much. So now there may be some discounted pricing, possibly. I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn, but that's where it could be quite frustrating for somebody that got it prior to. You know, they're going, well, wait a minute, Craig. This was this much money then. Now it's this much. And it's yeah, well, the manufacturers got stuck with so much product that now they have it sitting in warehouses that they've had to discount it. And that's something that's been shared. So the reason I bring that up is it's because it's still a viable option moving forward. Even if you're considering just an air conditioner, this could really help cut down on some of your utility costs while maintaining your comfort.
Wow, it's too bad, and I hope they come to realization. It's folks need heating. I know it's been a somewhat mild winter, but come on now, it's part of life. You gotta
Yeah,
help out the folks where you can. Uh,
exactly.
wh- what's going on for the spring? What's new and exciting?
So for the spring, we're just really encouraging people to, this is where maintenance and having something, I know I've said this before, but I can't express enough how vital maintenance is. And it's an upfront cost to save you big dollars down the road. We have been notified in our industry of substantial price increases coming to equipment. We've already seen equipment going up over the past few years for a number of different reasons. We've heard everything from raw material has gone up, so it costs us more to build it, to the freight costs are more because of the cost of gas and transporting the product, to packaging costs have gone up just to distribute product because of raw material again. Well, now we in our industry have been notified of increases anywhere between 5 all the way up to 8.5%. That's huge in our industry. Me coming up with over 20 years experience in this industry, it's common to see increases in the neighborhood of 2.5 to 3% is what we are accustomed to as an industry as a whole, seeing something of this magnitude. So now, unfortunately, if a part breaks, now it's going to be another, 6 to 8% on just that part, let alone a piece of equipment. So, think of your furnace like your car, folks. Maintain it. Spend a little bit of money up front. Look after it to save you big money down the road. If you're not interested in replacing a piece of equipment, I cannot stress the importance of maintenance. It is just something that's going to prevent you, save you, and also, too, as we've discussed on previous podcasts, some equipment parts, key components, as I mentioned, do require proof of annual maintenance in the past to validate that, even if it's under warranty, right? So, some people might be listening saying, oh, my furnace is only 5 years old. I still got 5 years of warranty left on it. If a key component goes, the manufacturer of every brand has the right to ask you for proof of maintenance. Just like a car manufacturer has the proof to say, hey, have you had an oil change done in the last 5 years? It's a similar thing. So save yourself a lot of money down the road by seriously considering a maintenance or a maintenance plan to protect yourself and the life of your equipment.
When does the price increase sort of take place?
Price increases. Yep.
Go ahead.
We're from March 1st to April 1st. It depends. I'm getting everything in there. So basically, that's when we're going to start to see it coming out. I just can't stress enough how much all of a sudden this is coming out of the woodwork. And so some raw materials, stuff that we as contractors are required to install your equipment safely and properly, that's going up the beginning of March. Physical equipment costs itself are going up end of March, beginning of April. At this time, that's what we're seeing. And again, this is industry wide. It doesn't matter what brand of equipment you got. It doesn't matter what product out there. This is industry wide. We're getting it.
It's two questions on this right now, because I think if I was going to do something, a new furnace, new, HVAC system or whatever, I think I would be doing the whole thing right now. You know what I mean? You know what's coming, right? You're going to get hit with it anyway. But in a year from now, if it's another 5%, right? Like, I'm just plan ahead, folks. Like you're talking about, get a maintenance program with you guys. Do something to protect yourself a little bit, because everything, the price is going higher. It doesn't matter, food, whatever, So I think, folks, you're better off to sort of look at what you need. Talk to Craig and see if you can. Like, if you have a great furnace, great, wonderful.
Yeah.
Just get the maintenance on it. Make sure you keep up.
Absolutely.
And it becomes such an issue, because I agree with what you said. Everything's so fine in the paperwork these days, and you have to do it. You have to follow it to the letter. But at the same time, take that stress away. I mean, I've seen your maintenance programs, dirt cheap. Just get signed up and make sure that you're protecting yourself, because that doesn't happen enough anymore. To be honest with you,
No.
You see so many folks upset. But do the right thing, get the program, and then you're safe. You're covered.
Exactly. And that's where it's kind of a double-edged sword, in a sense that it's nice because of the monopoly clause that they can't, industries across Canada can't monopolize market, which allows us as contractors, it doesn't matter your brand. We can look after it and still honor your warranty. They must do that now, and we have access, as well as a lot of my good competitors, to do that for you. It doesn't matter the make, model, or brand. We can look after everything. The other side of that coin is that they all have those same strict guidelines now. So it doesn't matter make, model, or brand. They all have the same, hey, we need proof of this for any key components to make sure, because we're not going to warranty a $1,300 motor when you've never had an oil change in 4 years. And again,
Can I?
I'm using that as an analogy, not that you change
That's
the
no
oil in
problem.
your furnace, but just yes.
Um,
And that's a cost that somebody who's invested good money in a new piece of equipment should never have to incur that, because you should have your warranty and your peace of mind.
One more question, and this is sort of a little story I want to share, and I want to get your thoughts on this because I know you're all about community. I had a neighbor, and they had a furnace put in, but it seemed like it was. I didn't recognize the company. It seemed kind of fly by nightish, and you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
now they're having all kinds of concerns and problems with it. And yeah, I'm going to always recommend local guys to do the work, and people are going to go where they can save money, and I understand that. But on the
But
other side of this, is this a growing problem in your industry?
it's a massive problem in our industry. So all equipment comes with 5 years right out of the box for warranty. But when you read all their marketing and publicizing, it talks about 10 years. It must be registered through the contractor to get you the additional 5 years parts. And with that, it must be installed to the manufacturer's guidelines and specs. So that's where, unfortunately, we are seeing some guys that are coming in. They are, for lack of better terms, it even says on their vehicles, installation companies only. And they install it and they leave. I am have struggled as a local business owner that does like to put the community first, that we firsthand have had two jobs that we were not fortunate enough to get, but two that went with somebody else that was outside of town. And both of those jobs, within less than 2 weeks, we were required to return to fix the install to make the equipment work properly. At which time we were also found out that because the install wasn't done and because pictures and things weren't done, guess what? The equipment was never registered by the installing contractor. So the 10-year warranty that you were told you were getting was only 5, just like that.
Just
And
like that.
how is the general homeowner supposed to know these things? The
Yeah.
analogy I use is it's like me buying a new fridge. I'm not a fridge guy. So if somebody says to me, oh, buy this and you get 10 years, okay, great. But I'm hoping that the company is going to say, here, and this is what you need to do to get that warranty, because that's not my world. I just know the HVAC side because obviously this is what we do. It's our world. So it's my responsibility, I feel, to make sure that all my customers in the community knows this, so that you get, again, what you're paying for. But unfortunately, that is what you're paying for when we get these out of town guys, who I'm not saying are bad guys, but they're doing a job at a specific price point for a specific reason. And with that, you might not get the extras that on paper it says you're getting. Well, now you've got a legal case. Well, now it's up to you to go chase the guy down and fight him. And that is
We're
where
all
most people end up throwing their hands in the air. And that's
yeah.
why these things happen.
We're all looking to save a buck, but you got to do your homework.
Yeah.
It's as we age, you learn those lessons the hard way, it seems. But folks, just give Craig a call at Cousins. Talk to Deb. They'll get you set up and help you out.
Yeah.
Really informative today. Thanks for taking the time, because there's a lot of information in there that you and I unpacked, and some stuff down the road I want to go a little deeper into. I hope there's another something to do with heat pumps to help folks out during the. I hope there's another program coming.
Yeah. Me
And I hope
too.
there's and I hope that like you said, spring's coming, folks. Be prepared. Get ready. You're switching from the heat to the air, and you got to be all ready for those things. So give Craig a call, and he'll get you set up, bud.
And thank you for having me as always, Dave. It's always a pleasure to be here. And to the community out there, please know I am getting on a very regular basis people reaching out just for general information inquiries. We welcome that.
Yeah.
We're not somebody that says, oh, you got to be a customer, I'm not going to talk to you. If you have questions, if you have concerns, if you're wondering, if you're thinking of something 3, 4, 5 years down the road, I'm fielding a lot of phone calls lately, and I welcome that and encourage it, because I want people to know what they're going to get in for, because unfortunately, the bad side makes our industry not look good, when a lot of it
Yeah.
could come to just simple education and having a good phone call. Like I made the reference about appliances. That's not my world. I don't even know where to begin when it comes to that. So how can I expect somebody to know all the ins and outs that we know about our industry? We can't. So it's our responsibility to educate. We're always happy to help, always happy to take a phone call. And one of the many reasons why I always enjoy doing this. Thanks for having me, Dave.
Yeah. Thanks. We'll talk next month. Take care.
Look forward to it. Bye for now.